Okay, let's jump right in for this deep dive into Hosea chapter 10. It's quite a chapter. Really gets into the consequences when things go wrong, specifically when, prosperity leads people away from faithfulness.
Right. It hits hard from the start. Israel is pictured as this spreading vine. Sounds positive, doesn't it? Growth, fruitfulness.
Yeah, exactly. Like things are going well.
But then the twist, as they got more prosperous, had more fruit, it says they brought forth fruit for himself. It wasn't about gratitude.
Ah, so the success itself became the problem, or led to the problem.
Sort of. They used that abundance to build more altars, fancier sacred stones,
Hmm.
basically fueling idolatry instead of honoring the source of the blessing. It's about that slide into self-reliance.
And Hosea is pretty blunt about the result. Their heart is deceitful. Now they must bear their guilt. It's not just a feeling, there are real consequences.
Absolutely. The judgment is specific. The Lord will demolish their altars and destroy their sacred stones, the very things they built in their self-reliance.
It targets the symptom, right? The physical manifestation of where they went wrong.
Exactly. And it goes deeper than just religious practice.
Yeah.
The text mentioned them making promises, false oaths, dodgy agreements.
Which leads to what in society?
Well, it says lawsuits spring up like poisonous weeds. So the spiritual corruption poisons everything. Justice, trust, the whole social fabric. It's like a rot spreading outwards.
You can see how that would destabilize things. And they even admit it later, don't they? Something about having no king.
Yeah, they say, we have no king because we did not revere the Lord. It's a moment of realization, maybe, but the text implies even a king couldn't fix the root issue.
Because the fundamental problem was misplaced trust. Relying on human systems, leaders, anyone but the Lord.
Mm-hmm. And the imagery used for the judgment that follows is just incredibly vivid and, frankly, quite brutal.
Like the calf idol, the one at Bethaven.
That's the one, their main idol. They fear for it, the priests mourn it, but what happens? It gets hauled off to Assyria as tribute. Total humiliation. Yeah, God becomes war booty.
Wow. And the capital, Samaria, and its king.
Just gone. Like a twig on the surface of the waters, floats away. Completely insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
That really underscores the powerlessness they face.
And those high places, they build for idols. They get overgrown with thorns and thistles. Nature basically takes them back.
It gets so bad they actually wish for the mountains to fall on them.
Cover us. Fall on us. I mean, that tells you everything about the terror and desperation of that judgment. It's an extreme plea.
The text links it back too, doesn't it, to earlier sin, Gibeah.
Yes, since the days of Gibeah. It suggests this isn't a new pattern, this turning away, this wickedness. And because of this double sin, nations gather against them.
And their own strength, their warriors that they relied on.
Totally fails them. The text is explicit. Because you have depended on your own strength and on your many warriors. The result is the roar of battle, devastation.
That line about Shalman at Beth-arbel, mothers dashed with their children, it's horrifying. It just hammers home the consequence of trusting in human might over God.
It's incredibly stark. But importantly, the chapter doesn't just leave it there in despair.
Right, there's an alternative offered, a different path.
Exactly. It says, sow for yourselves righteousness, reap the fruit of unfailing love. Basically, seek the Lord. It's time to break up your unplowed ground.
Contrasting directly with what they have been doing. You have planted wickedness, you have reaped evil, eaten the fruit of deception. Two different ways of planting, two different harvests.
It couldn't be clearer.
So wrapping up this dive into Hosea 10, it really lays out this unavoidable link between choices and consequences. Trusting yourself, your wealth, your power, it leads one way.
A bitter harvest, as the text says.
While seeking the Lord, sowing righteousness, that yields something entirely different. Unfailing love.
So the question this ancient chapter leaves us with, maybe leaves you with, is pretty direct. It forces us to think about where our dependencies lie.
Yeah, what are we really relying on? What are we planting with our actions and resources?
And how does that connect to the outcomes, the harvest, that we see in our own lives or even, in the world around us? It's definitely something to reflect on.